What's up, y'all? Wait for some people to get on here. If y'all have any questions, we can run through them and answer them. Maybe there'll be a little bit more people on here tonight than there was the other night. New Orleans, what's up, Justin? Try to let some people get on here. I kind of did this unexpectedly. Like I had said, we were gonna go live in the video. Hickory, what's up, man? And then I was backed up, not exactly where I want to be. And so then I decided to not go live, and I decided to go live. What's up, man? So I figured we'd give it a shot anyway. What's everybody up to? Gotta hit the gym. That's what I need to be doing, honestly. I need to hit the gym. Yeah, Donald, absolutely. So we're gonna be back at the shop this week. I actually texted Mike and waiting for him to text me back. And we are going to put the trans fluid in the transmission. And when we do that, of course, we'll video it, and I will make sure that I put it in the video again, the transmission fluid that we use. About to go mess with the car, yeah. Yeah, Glenn, I'm round shaped also. Yeah, I've been messing with the car all afternoon. Ran into a setback, not good. Got to pull the transmission back out again. But we'll get there. What's up, man? So, dude, what is everybody up to? Oops. I'm gonna try to wrap up the video tonight that I have been filming of trying to make some progress on the car, but ain't got a lot. It seems like all these little steps, dude, take forever. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pull mine back out. Yeah, we have to pull mine back out because Mike did not want to clearance the mid plate. So when we had the transmission out originally, I wanted it to clearance the whole mid plate because I remembered telling myself I need to clearance the whole entire mid plate. And Mike did not want to clearance the mid plate on the passenger side because he didn't want to take care of, he didn't want to take away more meat from that area of the transmission. And what it was, dash steering column, that's fun. And what it was, I needed to clearance that to get to a sensor, to tighten a sensor, that because that mid plate's there, you can't get to the sensor. It's the coolant head temperature sensor. So now, like, literally we have to take the whole transmission, mid plate, all that stuff back out just to be able to tighten the coolant head temperature sensor down, because it's an absolute nightmare to get to. Like, I've got the firewall back, back out of the car and everything, and I can get my fingers all over it, but I cannot actually like get a socket on there without clearancing it. So I wish I would have just made Mike clearance that freaking mid plate, man. So he's smart. He's pretty smart. So when he tells me that, you know, we should just leave something, then I do it. And I didn't look at my notes. We were in a rush. I didn't look at my notes in my phone. And if I would have looked at my notes, I would have done that. But the drive shaft would have had to come out anyway because we forgot to torque the pinion nut. I hear you. I don't have a spooled media. There is Mike. Mike's actually on here. Mike, I was actually going to tell you that I could send you a link if you wanted to hop on. I have no clue how to do that. But if you wanted to hop on, you probably ain't got no freaking signal. Yeah, I have no clue how to do that. But yes, Mike, it is all 100% your fault that you didn't listen to me. See, Mike can hop on YouTube live, but he can't text me back. Ain't that some bull? So what y'all think about them headers? Redneck Wi-Fi, yeah, I hear you. So I was gonna not do live because I was gonna get some stuff done on the car, and then when I found out that Mike messed everything up, yeah, Phil, the headers or something else. When I found out that Mike messed me up bad, Mike, I sent you 2 texts explaining our situation. But But when I found out that Mike messed me up bad, it really put a dampener on my mood. And I was like, screw it, we'll just go live. And this was like at 7:30. Because I got a lot of the list. I showed y'all the list in the other video, dude. I've got a lot of the list done that I can do here at the house, but Mike doesn't even know how long that list. You did mess us up. So that's like all that's like all I got left. That whole thing was filled full. What's up, James? That thing was filled full, so I've been coming through like little stuff, but like I think I've knocked out, let's say 5 things and added 4 things back to it that like as I see that I'm like, dude, we need to do. But I got a feeling that me and Mike is gonna be working for like 2 nights at the shop because it's like everything is like shop stuff. Plus, you know, all the other stuff. So, Mike, what's going on is the transmission. You said, I told you let's clearance the whole mid plate on the Glenn, there's gonna be no exhaust on this. So all it's gonna be doing is V-bands on the headers with dumps. So we've already ordered the V-bands and we already ordered the dumps. And Mike's gonna put the dumps on it at the shop. I don't know if if the dumps are gonna be on there before how much horsepower. So TKM is worried past 1,000 on the rods, but the setup minus the rods should go. I mean, the blower, people say 12 to 13 on the blower, but people's made a 14, 15 on that blower. But TKM was worried about the rods because they're billet H-beams. So they wanted me to upgrade the rods when I did the motors, and I was already 10,000 on the bill for the motor at TKM. And when they called me, and I was like, we got to stop. I was like, because I'm not just gonna keep shelling out this money, because if I would have upgraded the rods at that time, then they would have been calling me to upgrade the crank, and then they've been calling me to upgrade something else. So, and it's just like, you got to put a freaking end to it somewhere. So I don't know what it's gonna make. So I will honestly be happy to make 1,000. I would like to see 1,000, even if Kevin sends a rod through the block. I don't think I could care at this moment. Get out the hot dog stand. Dude. Yeah, it's something else. But yeah, I don't know what horsepower is going to make. I'd love to see 1,000, but it's all going to be up to Kevin when we go to dyno it. And I'm not sure if we're going to release the dyno numbers, because we might do some grudge racing. So I know everybody's going to hate me for that if I don't put out the dyno numbers, but I don't know if we're going to release the final weight and the dyno numbers. I don't know yet. We'll videotape the pulls and all that stuff, of course. I'm really on the fence about it, because I'd like to really clean some house on some grudge races once I learn what I'm doing, to try to recoup some money. And I feel like if I put out weight and horsepower, then, you know, I don't know, I might not get the street cars, because I definitely can't be running with like the big dogs, because this thing is nowhere near a big dog. But yeah, Mike, the mid plate, I told you we needed to clearance that passenger side, and we didn't do it. Now I can't get to it. What you feel comfortable with? Who cares? Yeah, I know. But now I can't get to the coolant head temperature sensor that we forgot to tighten down because we didn't check my list. So this week when we do this, you need to make sure that we check my list. So I've got the whole firewall tore back out of the car, all the panel back out, everything tore out, and I can get my fingers all over that sensor, like all over the sensor. I can feel the edge around and everything. But if you remember that when you plug the sensor in, you can barely get the sensor in. Like the sensor scrapes by the mid plate. So you can barely get the sensor to plug in. So being the sensor itself, the plug scrapes by the mid plate, of course the socket needs to be bigger than the nut, and that's like 2 times the width. Yeah, absolutely. So the mid plate needs to be clearanced if we can even get it. No, because I can get all over that thing. I've already unplugged it. I've got a pick in there and unplugged it. Mike, we're not getting it on the lift. I'm telling you, you're gonna pull the transmission, pull the mid plate back out. We're gonna clearance the mid plate this time, and then tighten down that stupid sensor. And I'm half tempted just to plug the sensor and move the coolant somewhere else. Dude, you're not making a socket. You're not making, the plastic part of the sensor touches practically the freaking mid plate, and then your sensor is wider than your plug, and then your socket has to be wider than the sensor. It's I'm telling you, when you see it, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, no, that's not happening. We're gonna pull all that crap back out, man. Which, I mean, it won't take long this time. And I just tested the starter bolts. Jason didn't put that side bolt in, so I can get to that side bolt and I can get it. I can get it in, and it almost looks like if I hold my fingers on the starter bolts, you'll be able to get a ratchet at the front of the steering rack, and you'll be able to go straight all the way through, and we'll be able to just set the starter down in the headers, like cradle it in the headers, and not actually, yeah, plasma cutter that, that will cut some stuff up. But we'll be able to just sit the starters on the headers and not actually have to undo none of the headers. I don't think, because I really am not trying to already be undoing the headers. Yeah, plasma does fix everything. Mike's got some plasma cutting to do. He needs to watch his mouth, because it's all fun, it's all fun and games until he's there at 10, 11 o'clock at night. And the list, I'm telling you, Mike ain't seen the list. Tomorrow, we'll probably need to put it on the whiteboard tomorrow. Probably need to screenshot it and send it to him, because I guarantee you, me and him's got 2 solid nights worth of freaking of work to do. Everybody on the channel is like, dude, you can't have that much left. Yeah, bull crap. And it's not cosmetic stuff, man. It's not like cosmetic stuff I want to change. Like, it's stuff that needs to go ahead and be done. I did speak to yeah, I wish we could. Yeah, I want to cut this whole front end off again, but we're not doing it. We're going to go racing. I did speak to Chris Moore, and I did speak to Turbo John. So Turbo John, everybody knows on the channel, is dealing with his engine issues, and we're supposed to be racing in Myrtle Beach this weekend. Yeah, the little stuff adds up. We're supposed to be running in Myrtle Beach this weekend, and John's already locked in 100 on that race, and he's not 100% sure if he's going to have his motor back together. He's trying. But I told him that I'd shoot down there and help him if he needs me, like Wednesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, whatever. But he's not going to be able to do first startup. So it's just not going to happen. John's way too busy. He's like 2 hours from me. And well, he's like an hour and a half. But he's talking about possibly not even making a Saturday race. So he definitely ain't going to have time to add in first startup. Yeah, Boosted, I've been trying to actually slow down on posting. I've been trying to, I think we're going to switch to every other day so people have time to kind of catch up between, and it takes a little bit off of me. But I honestly enjoy posting every single day. Like, I really enjoy doing the videos. But so I talked to Chris Moore, and it's up in the air, but first startup might be Saturday morning. So if me and Mike can get this car done this week, then first startup, and if Chris is free, first startup might be Saturday morning, and I might just have to miss the race on Myrtle Beach. So it depends on some other factors too. Chris' wife possibly wants her rims painted. Race cars always, it is always work in progress, and I'll continue to work on it. But I just want to get it running now. But I don't want to be having to redo too much stuff later on. But if Chris' wife wants his wheels painted, then we plan to Saturday morning put his wife's vehicle on blocks probably. Do first startup of my car. I bring the wheels back. I go into work on Saturday night, paint the rims, and then he picks them up from me like Saturday morning or Sunday morning. So if I have to paint wheels, then I won't be going to the race. Yeah, no. So more content boosted. It does help as a creator's point of view, is putting out a lot of videos, but I don't know if it really helps the subscriber count. I don't know if it really helps the subscriber count, because it seems like, when are you going to start on the red car? Hold on, I'll get to that. Because it seems like if whenever I went and slowed down when the comment was gone, we actually gained like 50 subscribers in 2 weeks, which is really slow for a lot of people. But I mean, it almost felt like it picked up, because it's like people, if they go into your channel trying to look at your stuff, then they have to kind of go back and look at some stuff you've already made, and then they don't get behind. Y'all love the dailies. Yeah, I mean, if y'all love the dailies, dude, I mean, it's like some of y'all that are on here, y'all are like hardcore. And if people love the dailies, then I'll continue to do dailies. There's so much more extra content that we can post. What's up, Jason? I'm just not going to, try just not post garbage, man. The red car, so the Maverick outside. I was going to start it while this is gone. But it's like, if you pull the Maverick in here and start cutting it up, it's going to be dirty as crap. If you go buy 2 sticks of tubing to start doing a little tiny bit of tubing work to the Maverick, then you've already spent money that you could have been paying on what I'm up to my freaking eyeballs and on this car. So it's kind of like I chose to leave. Glenn, yes, I'm monetized. I've been monetized since the start of the year. Thanks, y'all. But it's kind of like if you start spending money on the red one, and if you cut it up, you're also opening to the body shop side of things. Then you're opening fresh cuts where you're promoting more rust, even though the car's rusted all up. So I kind of just chose to leave the red one alone. And I'm also the type where I'm dangerous. And if I like building stuff, so if I go pull that red Maverick in and cut it up, yeah, go fire it up my butt, then no, I do agree, Keith, that once the channel is going to blow up once we get this car going. If I started on the red Maverick, then I would literally just want to push this thing into the trailer and leave it and not even mess with it. I get ongoing good, then start the other one. Oh, so how do I see all of these messages so that they stop disappearing? Okay, there we go. Are you going to do your own welding on the Maverick? Mr. Scott, Michael Blanton is going to weld my red Maverick. So we will do 100%, I believe, of the work for his channel and my channel. So if you haven't checked out Mike's channel, Blanton Dynamics on YouTube, he actually has a race car. He's slack. Y'all need to burn him up if he's in this chat right now. He's had a race car at his shop for, dude, I feel like 3 weeks. He's doing a chromoly cage in it, supposed to be tigging it up for the guy. It's LS swapped and all that, and Michael hasn't posted anything. He ain't been doing nothing to it. So y'all need to burn him up. Yeah, exactly. Y'all go ahead and say y'all are subbed, but he don't post nothing. Yeah, that was on Facebook, Glenn. I'm also monetized on Facebook. So YouTube pays me pennies and Facebook pays me quarters, I guess. Yeah, Mike, you better need to get on that race car. Yeah, absolutely boosting, man. I'll see you later, buddy. Yeah, Leon, I want to, I definitely want to do the red car. So I'm a builder at heart. I'm looking forward to racing this thing, but I enjoy cutting and building and painting and bodywork more than I could ever think that I would enjoy racing. So even though we obviously have 2.5, 3 years into this, so we're definitely going racing, but I am not one of them people where you will not see on this channel me limping my car at the racetrack. Like a lot of people are thrashing, just trying to make things work so that they can make a pass. You won't see that on this channel, because if it's not right, it's just not going to the track. I mean, I don't care. Like, I mean, I'm going to take it to the track. We're going to race. We're going to race as much as we can every single weekend, but I'm not living at the track every single weekend. I have 3 kids and a wife and a red Maverick that I'd love to start building, and I want to enjoy the black one. I don't want it to be stressful. Yeah, Michael, you need to put at least an introduction video up, man. At least show them what you got, man. These people are subbing to your channel and they want to see something, man. So maybe Mike will make some of this. What's up? It's always something that has to be done multiple times. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, Mike's on here. He's just not doing nothing, so. Got the intake in. This will be on the video. I'm gonna edit tonight. So I'll show y'all what we got going on the car. Mike wants to think that we can get this crap from the inside. I done tore apart the whole interior again. See, I got the whole firewall tore back out of it. You can see the whole back of the motor, and the plug is down here where you can't get it. So, but I am making progress. I am making progress. I'm getting stuff done. It's just, it feels like I keep going backwards. All right, so who's got some questions? Y'all always probably the people that have questions are probably not on here. It's like people's been asking paint questions. I've been trying to help them out with that. Yeah, Glenn, I try to push Mike more than anybody. So sometimes I feel like I push him too hard. Sometimes I just have to leave him alone. Has not. Yes, boo.
I made cinnamon sugar croissants. I was just letting you know.
Okay. I'm doing this live right now. Mike's in here.
Michael Bland.
Yeah, he's not working though. He's always so busy, he said, but he's on live chat right now.
Do you want me to bring you a croissant?
No, I'll get some when I'm done out here. Andrew, the car has not cranked. It might be Saturday morning, maybe. Daniel, the sensor, we can't, you can grab the plastic part of the sensor when I originally put it in, and you can turn the sensor in with the plastic part, but you can't tighten it down. It's a coolant head temperature sensor. So we can't get it tight. Michael decided that he told me no to not clearance the mid plate, where I told him I wanted to mid plate clearance that when we had the transmission out. And hold on a second. Dude, yeah, the red one. You wait until the red one. Good Lord. But so anyway, we can't tighten the coolant head temperature sensor, so it's gonna leak all over the place. I told Mike I wanted to clearance that mid plate. Mike said no, that he wanted to leave the meat on the bones there. He did not want to cut that metal back. Mike is smarter than me. I hate to cut the metal too, but now I wish I would have just forced Mike to cut the mid plate, because then I could get a wrench in there probably and tighten it down. So we're still gonna be clearancing that mid plate. It's just now we get to do it twice. Live feed on the startup, can't do that. So there's more cornfields than there is Wi-Fi at where the car will get first startup done at. So, and I feel like first startup might not be smooth, so I hate to just put a camera in the corner of the room and just roll it. And being on somebody else's time who doesn't do YouTube, I feel like it's extremely rude. So that's why, if y'all notice, when I went and picked up the car from Jason's, I don't really film anything. You know, I didn't really film anything with Jason. I didn't talk with Jason. I mean, me and Jason talked, but I didn't get him on camera because it's kind of rude. You know, like, I do YouTube because it's what I want to do. You know, you don't want to show up to somebody else's house and you're paying them for their work, and then it's like, also, oh, hold on, stand around, let's do YouTube. You know, because he don't have nothing to gain about it. Like, he don't care YouTube. Same way with Chris Moore. Like, he doesn't do YouTube, and I don't think he really cares about YouTube. So don't have the signal out there, for one. But number two, I need to be focused, get in there, get the job done, get the car cranked. I'll try to film as much as I can. Maybe the wife will go with me and do some filming. I don't know. It's hard to find somebody to watch Harper. Yes, the car is going to be stupid loud. That's going to be an issue. So there will probably be, I hate to put it on YouTube. Yeah, they're 275s, Glenn. I hate to put it on YouTube, but there will probably be a lot of tickets. And I know how to get myself out of my own tickets. So driving this thing on the streets with no mufflers in Wilmington. Wilmington's a decent sized city. What we'll do is I'll probably get pulled and get improper equipment tickets, and then I'll have to go to court and get them tickets dismissed where they don't cost me anything, and do it again. So I don't know, maybe we'll run into some cops that are just cool, but yeah, everybody has told me, cool, man. Everybody has told me that it's gonna be stupid loud. A Pro Charger car, open headers basically. So, and the only reason why we did the collectors and not the Zoomies right now is so that we can hopefully get into some street classes. I got a feeling that I'm going to be bullied out of the street classes because of the 4Link and because of the Lexan, even though it is a daily driver, or it can be a daily driver, and it is very, very streetable. So radiator and roll-up windows makes it a street car, in my opinion. And insurance, tagged and insured. Yeah, I appreciate that. Honestly, I was hoping some people would get in here that kind of needed some pointers, you know, or some questions answered, because it's just so hard. Like, when people ask stuff on the channel, you know, and I have to like reply back in message, it's just it's so hard to just write all that mess out. But figured I'll hop on here. Probably what we need to start doing is maybe if the channel blows up a little bit more, maybe doing like every Sunday night or a weeknight, not Wednesday night because that's John's night, but maybe like 8:30, 9 o'clock, like updates weekly. And then that way I can kind of help everybody with paint projects or paint questions. Yeah, I hear you. Body work for a living. That's it does not have a thermostat. The Tahoe is slightly done. This car doesn't have a thermostat. The Tahoe V-bands and mufflers on it. Yes, Glenn, it's getting V-bands. It's getting V-bands and dumps. We've already ordered that. And there will be where we can change it out to mufflers so that we can get in classes that require full exhaust. I like to have it so that it's made, you know, from the front of the car all the way back here to the rear car, where we can throw exhaust in like 20 minutes. Yeah, Mike, I had actually showed the wishbone in a previous video. It updated everybody that the wishbone, no cutouts, it's just straight dumps. So straight off the headers, there's just gonna be maybe 8 inches of pipe that's gonna dump straight down. That's it. I mean, it's gonna be loud as piss, man. Jason said, I said, if I want to turn these out the side of the car, should I maybe step this down so the pipe's not so big underneath the pinch weld, the flange? And he said, whatever you do, do not step these headers down. Do not restrict the flow of this exhaust. So, and Kevin was very, at TKM, Kevin was very straight up. He said he wanted the headers as big as possibly would fit in there. Yeah, there's no room for cutouts under there, like Mike said. I mean, there's not a lot of room underneath that car. This car is low. It's not like in the weeds, like people say, where the rocker panels are sitting down on the car. But you gotta remember, I have a crank line center. I think my crank line center is like 13 inches. Yeah, so Andrew, we're gonna try to do like a 45. So that we can hopefully get the exhaust and everything out from under the car, but you know, not pounding into the flanges, because you have the pinch weld, the flange underneath the car, and we don't want to just blow all that right in there. Do you have any plans on any? Absolutely no drive and drag events. So I'm not interested in drag and drive events. I know a lot of people, it's cool. I mean, I get it, but for some reason, I don't know. The drag and drive stuff just does not interest me at all. So I just, if this car goes more than 30 minutes up the road, it'll go in the trailer. It's not that it can't drive. I mean, you could probably drive it, I don't know, a good ways, but it's the comforts. Like, I don't know. It's going in a trailer if it's more than 30 minutes up the road. So no drag and drive events. But yeah, Mike, jumping back, everybody that watches the channel, all the channels already know that we got the wishbones. I'm actually making Mike a table. So we have a whole table with all this metal on here. Skis, we got to do skis underneath the car, because if it comes up in wheelies, the headers would hit and the oil pan would hit. So we have to fabricate skis. Like, I've rounded up metal this afternoon and laid everything out on the table so that I can just load it all up in the truck and take it to the shop. Because I try to keep all my good metal at the house, not at the shop. And cool, awesome, Glenn, I appreciate it. It's going to be running gas. So first startup will be E85. I actually deleted this out of the video for last night. So I actually had to order 2 gas cans, because that's kind of one of them things that you don't even think about when you start racing or you start picking up this hobby, is you're like, what, I put fuel in? I mean, yeah, you can go get your lawnmower gas can and pour your gas out, but I mean, nobody wants to do that. So then VP racing fuel jugs, you can get 2 of them for like $50, $60. I went ahead and ordered them, so they should be here this week. And we're gonna go grab some E85 in Wilmington this week. And once me and Mike are done at the shop, we will go ahead and get some fuel in this car and make sure that we don't have no fuel pump leaks or anything. I think I need to add a check valve to the fuel system in one area, and I got to do a cap. I got to cap off the return. I ordered that this morning. But we're gonna put E85 in it for first startup. Unloading, yeah, exactly. But we're gonna run E85, I think, on the street, and stuff. And then Darren up at TKM, I spoke with TKM again. Like I speak with Skinny up there all the time. So me and him are always back and forth in the inbox, but he said X85. So I don't know anything about it. Some of y'all might know something about it. But he runs X85 and TKM carries it in stock. And Darren is extremely straight up with me, and he knows I'm on a budget, and he sometimes will give me information and I go order it elsewhere. And I was like, should I order this somewhere else to my door, or is this price wise I just need to go ahead and get it from y'all? And he said no. He said get it from us whenever you come up here to get it tuned. And I was like, all right, cool. So I didn't even price it. I'm just going to take the car to TKM, and we will purchase some X85, and we'll get the E85 out of the fuel cell, and we'll switch it over to the X85, and I'll purchase, a little bit from them, and then I'll price it online to double check. Yeah, Glenn, you can use somebody else's IAA or Copart account. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you're going to save if you're using a dealer account, you're going to save money on fees versus if you're a public buyer and you're just buying cars as a public buyer, the fees are high. For us lately, they raised the fees on a bunch of stuff. This past year has been extremely rough. Getting started in this business right now, you'll definitely get ran over if you're not careful or if you're not doing the work yourself. You have fixed things in person even if you do it yeah, 3 times. I try to get everything right. But the fees right now are just, they're outrageous. So yes, if you can use your buddy's dealer account, use his account, because you'll be able to buy any cars pretty much, and you'll get a little bit of a break on the fees. So just don't be lazy, which I know a lot of y'all are not lazy, but don't be lazy in trying to buy cars that don't need a lot of work. We stay away from them whenever I'm on there buying cars. If my wife cringes if I buy a car that's not that damaged. Now, when I buy these hard hitters that y'all don't even see, you're lazy. When I buy these hard hitters that y'all don't even see, she cringes too, because it's a fine line. You don't want to do too much work because you won't make money, but you don't want to buy one that has barely any damage, because normally there's a reason why. Even if it's an insurance car, it can be an insurance vehicle and it be totaled out, and the person that got it totaled out committed insurance fraud. A lot of people don't realize that. There's a lot of insurance fraud out there, ton of it. People just want that payout. If they can't make their payments, they're just trying to look for a reason to get that car totaled out to get it paid off. So, I bought cars that are hit and then they have bad transmissions. Some people are out there riding around on bad transmissions. We got one right now that we're trying to get rid of that has extreme rust damage underneath it that I can't sell to the public. So if you're gonna buy from IAA or Copart, man, definitely dealer or your buddy's account if possible, and if not, either way, you need to do your work yourself. X85 uses leaded fuel, unlike E85 pump gas. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know nothing about it. I was gonna get Kevin to school me and try to get some footage for y'all. I'm definitely gonna try to film at TKM. Hopefully Mike will make it, and Mike can do some filming also. I'm taking Mike as my my pit crew, because Mike will rig stuff up whenever all of our stuff falls apart on the dyno. Dude, I think it's like $200 an hour at TKM. But it depends. I don't know if y'all are on John's live chat. He was talking about that this past week. It depends on who you are and how much you spent with TKM. So since TKM built this motor, I'm sure that I'll get a tad bit of a break, I'd guess. Yes, we will film a video on the startup, but I can't live stream the startup due to where it's going to be at. There won't be no Wi-Fi, and I'll be on somebody else's time, so I'm just going to try to capture as much film as I can. So, but yeah, might be this week, y'all. Might be first startup, might be Saturday morning, but we'll see. Mike better find out his old lady's work schedule and find out what night he's allowed to stay out and play, because we got a list. But yeah, dude, it'd be cool if some of y'all start Copart and IAA. If y'all need any help, just hit me up, man. You can make some money even doing it at your house, but you got to be careful. Your purchase price on what you're buying in at is the most important number. So not even necessarily to repair, because when you purchase one, you can start digging for used parts and get your repair costs down. But that purchase number, once you buy it, you can't change that purchase number. If you get in too deep right out the gate, you've already set yourself up for failure. Mike, cool. So Mike, my plans were kind of to go leave the car here. Obviously, I'm not doing nothing with it tonight. And then depending on what it was looking like, I'm gonna bring the trailer home, the enclosed trailer, um, the night before. We're gonna do the car, I guess, and I'm gonna finish the enclosed trailer, do that video, get all the grip tape in and all the tie down points, put the car in the enclosed trailer for the first time and take it to the shop. With the enclosed trailer, it's kind of like a test run, and then we'll do the work, and I'll probably bring it back home in the enclosed or the open trailer. So I figured I could finish the trailer out in one afternoon. Yeah, Glenn, I mean, if you've been around it your whole life, if you've been around vehicles, and if you can take a fender off, take bumpers off, I mean, most of that's what we do. I mean, I buy so many cars now. We're averaging, building totals is real work. It is. It can be. But, you know, we're averaging 100, 125 cars a year right now, which is kind of low. Our slower year, I think it was last year or the year before, was 75 cars. So when I start having to do all these race cars and insurance work, it really takes, our customer work, it really takes a hit on my business. You know, because whenever it's just me and Eddie, we can bang out one car either every day or every other day. So I think last week, me and Eddie, I think, did 4 cars. And I think we're putting 2 for sale tomorrow, and we currently have, I think, 3 or 4 for sale. So we've been running through them like candy. Yeah, so the headers, all of that, for Tuesday night. Awesome, dude. I appreciate the shirt purchases. Let's see here. Dude, I love it. I'm gonna do the logos. I'm gonna do the logos on there. But yeah, the headers coming apart, that was completely Jason. I didn't even know nothing about that. He said that they were gonna be 2-piece headers. So I'm thinking what he said was springs. So what I think he was thinking in his head was he was gonna build the flanges where, you know, the top of the headers kind of turned down, and then the bottom, you know, half of the headers all one piece, and where you put them together and then you hook springs, hold them together. I think that was his original idea. And then when he got in there, he realized that he bit off a little bit more than he could chew. I mean, he can chew anything, but it took him a couple more minutes. The goal is not to race this season. But that was Jason's 100%, you know, own idea. So with the racing stuff, y'all, this is how this is going to go. And I've tried to comment a couple times and try to tell people on Facebook and stuff like that. Everybody wants to be there for the first race. What we're going to have to do is, I have no clue what I'm doing. So I've never staged a car. I've never raced a car on a track. I've never had anybody back me up. I've never used a bump, you know, the bump button, which no, this don't have the bump button. Trans brake, I've never used trans brake. I've never done none of that. So we're going to have to get this car running, and then we're going to try to do some private testing. So I've got a local track owner's cell phone number finally. I worked on that the other week, and I just need to make a phone call. I was trying to get that track rented. You're going to race street classes. So I was trying to get that track rented with no prep, and I haven't called him yet. So I don't want no glue sprayed, nothing sprayed, because I just need somewhere. It could about be a dirt road, not literally, but I just need somewhere to figure out how to do the trans brake, figure out how to roll into the beams, figure out all that stuff. So I'm so far behind that I can't do like a lot of these guys where they build a car and then it comes off the trailer and they're making passes. I told Randy that I don't know if I'll be comfortable, you know, doing, you know, 100, 125, you know, 75 miles per hour out the backside. So not 75 miles per hour, but I don't like to be the cocky type where you're naming off some numbers, but y'all get what I'm saying. I said, I don't know if I'm gonna be comfortable doing that. I said, and so many people, you know, just right out the gate, and so many people, you know, exactly start slow. So many people want to see what the car will do. And I said, I kind of wouldn't mind putting Randy in the car and turning that thing up. So once we get the suspension dialed in and the motor, the tune's done, you know, and Kevin's got a safe hot tune that can be loaded in there, then, you know, I really wouldn't mind putting Randy in the car and telling him, dude, let's send it. But he says that after I let go of that button like 3 times, and after I make like 3 passes, he said nobody will be driving that car. He said, dude, you'll have it down pat. So John and Randy are extremely, you know, positive people, but Randy is just dead set on that I will have this car completely under control, and well, I'll be perfectly fine. But he told me that if I want him to make a pass in the car, that he'll gladly do it. So I figured that for y'all, we might want to see what the car can actually do. I was talking to Chris Kenny last week, the owner of the Night Train. So I don't put him on here a lot, but I do a lot of business lately. I've been doing it with Chris. With some golf carts and stuff. I don't try to put these people on the channel because, like I just said, a few minutes ago, it's not really, they don't care about this stuff. But I was talking to Chris and I said, yeah, but I was like, I told him the situation, and he's like, you'll get, you'll get comfortable with the car. And I said, my luck, I'll red light it, mess everything up, whatever. And then he was like, well, even if you red light it, he's like, that's not going to affect how the car actually, the time. He's like, that's not going to affect how fast the car is, the speed, or anything like that. If I'm even going to show the time, he's like, oh, that's just your reaction time. He said that light can go green and you can sit there forever and then still, show that. Yeah, no, I think it'll come natural. I mean, honestly, I'm a good driver. Like, I mean, a lot of people say that, but like, I mean, I'm comfortable in any vehicle. I mean, Mike can back me up on that. Like, I'm comfortable with my surroundings, just driving a vehicle in general. I don't really struggle with that. So, I feel like I'll catch it on fast. But, Chris was like, he was like, you won't have to worry about none of that because that's all reaction time and that don't matter. You can sit there on the green light forever. And I was like, yeah, true. I was like, so maybe I'm just overthinking stuff and, but there's going to be a lot of private testing, or there's going to be some private testing. And then I'm not going to want to go to a test and tune night on my third pass. So, and I'm not going to enter a race. I'm not paying to enter a race this year probably, because it's like, why throw away that money when I've got to learn what I'm doing. So we definitely need to try to get 1 or 2 private test sessions in if I can do track rentals. Go to test and tune nights till you get Andrew, the test and tune nights here, sometimes you got to wait 3 hours and make 1 pass. Yeah, no, I believe you. I believe you. Yeah. Have to get, yeah, no, I know, but some of the test and tune nights here, you got to wait 3 hours and make 1 freaking pass. The test and tune nights here, like at Galot, they're on Thursday nights. Y'all have seen John's live feed. I mean, they're popping. I mean, a lot of times there's as many people at test and tune as there is a freaking race. So a lot of times the races have, sometimes it seems like less cars making passes than test and tune night. So I mean, it's, if you don't know what you're doing, it can be slightly intimidating, to go out there on test and tune. I mean, because here, I don't know how everybody else's track is, but here on test and tune night, I mean, they got people in the bleachers just sitting there watching. So, I mean, it's not, there is a smaller track nearby that does host some test and tunes. It's Harold's. John's went there 1 or 2 times on his channel, and I think Harold's is going to be our ticket. They also do smaller entries, $25 to race. So I mean, I don't mind paying that stuff to get in to do some testing. Low turns out, but Harold's is a struggling track. And I think we can get in there. Mooresville ain't too bad on Thursday nights. I don't know how far Mooresville is away from me. So I'm in Wilmington. I'm like 10, 15 minutes from the beach. So I'm right down here at the port. But yeah, dude, Mike needs to print a sticker that says student driver for this freaking car. But yeah, I mean, the test and tune nights, dude, they're crazy. And then, what I was saying is Harold's has low turnouts. It's a struggling track. It's rougher, but I'm thinking I'm really going to try to hit up Harold's. Harold's is also close to Mike's house. That's closer to Mike's house than my house. So I think I just got low power mode, so 20% battery life. But I thought I would be able to go to Harold's and, get in some passes and have Mike help out, hopefully, if it's late at night after the kids are in bed or whatever. Or most of their stuff's on the weekends, though. They don't have test and tune on the weekdays, but we'll figure it out. Darlington is 2 hours and 20 minutes from me. Their test and tune nights are Wednesday. So Galot is 1 hour and 20 minutes. It's an amazing track. Their test and tune is Thursday. So we get an F in chat for Hermal. I'll catch you in the videos. All right, Mr. Glenn, you have a good night, man. But yeah, we'll figure it out as we go, and I'm gonna keep y'all in the loop on everything. And y'all will be right along for the journey. All right, Mike, I'll see you tomorrow at work. Any more questions or anything before we close this thing out? So we've already been at 45 minutes. Yeah, testing at Stunnerville, thinking to. So we can do private testing at Stunnerville. But, you know, with all the drama they just had with 28's Gone Wild and stuff, I don't know how much people are still using that track. I know Randy and them are not. Mike, I got the car back Saturday morning. I actually posted a video last night of showing the headers and everything on the car and giving an update. When's first start up? Saturday. Possibly Saturday. Highway 117 is pretty clear at 3 a.m. Andrew, me and Mike have already discussed making test hits in the streets between the Burgall area and the Elizabethtown area, way out there in the country. But it's kind of like if you can hit up Harold's, then you might as well just do that there, because making street hits, I mean, you got to be rushed. So making street hits, you can't just be out there clowning around. My luck, I'll be done getting the car impounded before it's. I'm not afraid to make street hits. I'm not afraid to go to jail. I'm not afraid to get a ticket by any means. I'm self-employed, so I don't get fired if I don't show up in the morning. But it's just kind of like, why deal with the headaches? Also, my wife knows like every towing company around here. So it's like more than likely whoever impounded the car, she's just going to text them and be like, hey, we're going to slide through and pick it up. But it's like, why do that and then have to be rushed, especially when the driver don't know what they're doing. So when you're just trying to figure the car out, then yeah, test hits on the streets is an excellent opportunity. You know everywhere all the buttons are, you know how everything's going to react, you know what to do. You get the car unloaded, you make your hit and load it back up. Please don't do what a lot of racers do. When it starts spinning, it gets tired. Yeah, no, we're not going to just stay in it. If it starts spinning, it's over. So, I mean, if it starts spinning, you done made yourself look like a fool, in my opinion. You might as well, I mean, unless the other car is way behind you, and that's different. We're not talking racing. We're just talking testing. But, yeah, I agree. If you're testing, you know, and trying to figure the car out and it starts spinning or the tail kicks out, just let it go, man. Go back to the pits, cool it down, and go try to make another one. So I'm not going to purposely put this thing in the wall. It's not a no-prep car. I mean, I got a frame machine, and I got a paint booth. And I've been known to sling some body filler by the gallon, but we're not trying to add weight of body filler on here. So, but we'll get it figured out. But a lot of people want to be there for first startup, first race, and like a lot of people on Facebook. A lot of people are on my Facebook, and I'm just like, I don't think it's going to be like everybody thinks it's going to be. Like, y'all know how it will be, but a lot of these other outsiders, people that don't actually drag race, you know, they think that we're just going to crank the car up and then take it racing the next weekend. So that's not going to happen. And another unexpected curve to the whole thing that we haven't even went over on the channel is the safety gear. So the safety gear is a humongous kind of setback and everything. I mean, I'm full-fledged ahead on spending the money right now. But like all the safety gear, I mean, to get yourself decked out decent, you're looking at $3,000 to $6,000. Like, I mean, to decent on new stuff. I'm not talking about the fire suits that only protect you for 5 seconds. That stuff is crazy. So I actually have Chris Kenny's the Night Train. I have his fire suit right now in the truck. So he actually gave me he upgraded and gave me his fire suit, but he's a lot bigger than me, so I was going to make it work. But I actually purchased another fire suit off eBay used that we will go over on the channel last week. Yeah, exactly. But I'm trying to, you know, we're going to go over the safety gear stuff because I'm having not a hard time, but there's a ton of info on safety gear out there that's like black and white, but it's not really the budget safety gear stuff. So I kind of was thinking I might make a video on what I paid for my gear and what I got and what other beginners or people could do. So Mike, TKM's tuning the car. So Kevin built the motor. Kevin called the shots on the headers. He requested big as possible. Kevin's going to tune the motor. So TKM is going to actually tune the motor. John would like to be there, he said. He told me that he would like to be at TKM when it's tuned because, of course, he was just there with Randy. So John personally knows Kevin. So he definitely wants to be a part in it, and he has said that he will help me in any way I need it. I don't know what I'm doing on the laptop. Y'all can ask Mike on his channel, Blanton Dynamics, that I don't even know which way to put the cam in. So I don't know nothing about the internals of that freaking motor. So I can't be on the laptop really. So John will help, he said. Chris Moore said he'll help. I've had tons of people on the channel say that, that are around here, that they'll gladly help. But TKM's going to do the initial tune. And I'm guessing that Kevin will maybe set me up with 1 or 2 or 3 tune files, such as like a turnt down. Mike, I actually spoke with John today. I'll tell you in a minute. But I imagine that TKM maybe could set me up with like a turn down tune. Yep, turn down tune, medium tune, and a hot tune maybe, and then John could help me fine tune stuff, but that way if I didn't have anybody, I could just easily load a tune that I felt like might work. And of course, as people help me, we could build more tunes and hopefully save them where we can just load different tunes in or whatever, and then go from there. But I spoke to John today, and me and John John was going to do first startup on the car. So I had told him that, he should do a video for everybody who's a beginner and don't understand this stuff like me on what do you do when you plug your Holly in. Yeah, I'm getting the Hans device for sure. But I told John, do a video when you plug your Holly in. No, we're doing a Hans. I got 3 kids and a wife. We're doing a Hans device. It's like $700-800. Like, just put it on your credit card. It could save your life. So I was like, you should do a video on when you plug the Holly in, not tuning it, but what safeties should somebody put in on the Holly, and not really how to set up your shock sensors and all that, because like Devin and so many people have all them videos out. The one thing about my channel, to the wrong spot in a video, correcting another. Yeah, I might have changed it. So one thing about my channel that I try to do different is I try to give y'all information that the person that don't know what they're doing, especially with the paint and body side, y'all know more than me with this stuff, but the paint and body side, the things that people don't answer. So too many people just want to do how-to videos or answer videos, on things that everybody's already touched on that, don't even matter. So I told John, I was like, you should do, the video on like what safeties to put in for a beginner, for somebody when you first fire a brand new car. Everybody else has already covered all the other how-tos. Let's do something different. Let's bring y'all guys something different that other channels don't do. And he's just too busy. He didn't expect his motor to have the issues that it has. And he's trying to put it together. I spoke with him earlier in the day. And the goals for this weekend, he's trying to race this weekend and all this, and he just can't do it. So Chris Moore will possibly do first startup Saturday morning with me, if me and him can get our schedules together. But yeah, I would have loved to do a video with John on that. The videos, once you've confirmed startup, make sure startup video. Yeah, definitely. I think the channel will blow up once the car's running and get John to show you how to tune the cars. So you can learn. Sorry. Yeah, I'll pick up the tuning. He'll help me, and I just, dude, some of that stuff I struggle with. But Mike understands how motors work too. So Mike helps sometimes decode stuff for me and kind of, explains things to me. And, I'll figure it out as I go. So, but yeah, I want John to be a part of it if he wants to be a part of it. I'm the type where I'm not going to ask somebody, make Maverick a stroker nitrous carburetor car. Yeah, but then I got to learn carburetor and all that stuff. So let's just learn one thing and stick to it. I want to do a Godzilla in the Maverick. Everybody that knows me personally knows that I want to do a Godzilla in the Maverick. I've been trying to purchase a Godzilla for a year now. I'm still actively trying to purchase a Godzilla motor. It's just not on my priorities. I'm trying to purchase a whole truck so that I can part it out, but that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, I want John to, if he wants to be a part of it, I want him to be as big of a part of it as he can. I think it would be an honor to be an actual part of, if you were considered an actual part of Turbo John Racing, like that car. I think me and John with the YouTube stuff, you have to sometimes be careful because you don't want 2 channels looking the exact same, and me and him's talked about that. But I've told him that I don't have too much interest in being a a racing channel, as in going down the track channel. I kind of want to do the journey and behind the scenes and, you know, feelings or things that people go to or helping others out. You know, I kind of want to be that more personal channel. Yeah, Jason, I'm trying to get the 7.3, but you know, I just don't want to be a copycat. It seems like there's just so many channels that you can just jump right on and watch people make passes, and I just don't want to do that, man. I think there's too many people out there that are like me that you know, didn't have nobody to necessarily help them, and just wants to kind of understand the basics. Murda Nova's channel, Sean, like a year or so ago, dude, he was doing videos when they were out of town where he was filming them like in the trailer, working in the cold, putting the motor in and stuff. And dude, I eat that stuff up. When he starts making a pass, I fast forward it. So I like the racing, but it's like we see cars go down the track all the time. You know, what I want to see, and it's kind of how I run my channel, is I want to see, what do you do at night? What do you do when the motor blows up? Where do you work on it at? You know, where do you go get in a motor oil? How do you get there? Yeah, Godzilla and the Maverick, that's what we're thinking. Yeah, Jason, I mean, that's it. But I just want to be different. I want the channel to be different. The paint and body industry. Andrew, I wanted the money. I did not want to paint cars for anybody. I wanted the money, and I bought a car from IAA to flip, and I didn't know how to paint the back bumper on it. I paid a friend of mine $200 to paint a back bumper on it, and I was like, there's no way I can make money paying people $200 to paint a back bumper. Right now in Wilmington, we can get $800 to $1,000 for one bumper. Insurance pay normally on a front bumper to repaint a front bumper, R&I and paint it, we're getting $800 to $1,000. Back then, you know, Buddy cut me a deal, and I still felt like 200 was too much. I picked up a Harbor Freight gun, and I started messing stuff up. Boy, I started messing things up bad. And then I didn't fix it. I just put it on the car and sold the car for a little less than I probably could have got. But when people come and looked at it and they were like, dude, what's wrong with the paint? I'd be like, I don't know. I'd be like, I just pulled a used bumper out the junkyard, and that's how it was. So I didn't have to fix anything. Yeah, exactly. So Sammy's channel is more personal, you know, about his journey to an extent. You know, I want Sammy to post more videos and more stuff, but I mean, I get it. Everybody's busy, you know, but I have a image, you know, and of how I want my channel to be. And I do things different than a lot of people do. And I try to comment back to everybody's comment and help everybody out. So I've put my email out there. You know, that I like helping people because, you know, I didn't have nobody help me. I'm self-taught, and I had to learn everything myself and mess up a lot of stuff to learn. So, but yeah, that's how I got into the paint and body industries. And then friends, once I kind of learned what I was doing, people were like, hey, can you paint this for me? And I was like, no, I don't know what I'm doing. And they were like, dude, if you paint like you just painted that, I'll pay you. And I was like, okay, we're talking money. But dude, when I first started, I was painting whole cars for $600. Now I just about won't touch a whole car for under $2,500. I won't touch a scuff and spray single stage for under $1,200. So even a all over single stage door jam movie studio job, which I haven't been able to show y'all any movie studio work this year because we haven't actually done none, but I was still doing $1,200 on movie studio work for all over. But 100% self-taught, high school dropout. Ain't have nobody do nothing for me, man. Just not afraid to mess stuff up. I'm stupid enough to not be scared to mess stuff up. I hate how on this live it don't show you how long a battery you got, so I imagine that this thing is just gonna drop at some point. Wish there was a way to see the battery. But yeah, I think we will. Would a Zilla be nitrous being such a big cubic inch? I don't think so. I don't think I'm interested in nitrous. I'm honestly kind of scared of nitrous, so I don't. I'm like scared of putting seating the beads on tires. Like at work, when I start having to seat, I mean, I do it all the time, but when I have to seat a bead on tire, you're just kind of like, dude, this tire's about to blow up and blow my whole freaking face off. And heating the nitrous bottles up and it's sitting in the car with you, yeah. You want to touch under 3,000? Yeah, under 3,000, that's around it. Yeah, but I mean, the nitrous stuff, I don't know. I just, a lot of pressure. I'm just, I I don't know if I want to do nitrous. And then you can tear nitrous motors up so freaking fast, and then when you get to a certain level, you know, you're rebuilding nitrous motors a lot. And guess what? I have not learned to do. I'm not gonna say I can't do it, but I have not learned how to build motors. So it's kind of like setting myself up for everything I don't like. I don't want to be heating bottles up. I don't want all that pressurized bottle in the car with me. I don't want it near me. I don't want to rebuild motors. I don't want to have to learn jetting and all that stuff. All the way from Las Vegas. What is up, man? So, I mean, it's just, I don't think so. I think that if I did a Godzilla, I would try to do Pro Charger if I could financially swing it. But if not, it would be turbo, because turbo is the cheapest. I mean, I guess nitrous is, but long run, you got to keep rebuilding motors. Yeah, I jumped into racing head first. Yeah, pretty much. But now I was at the track 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So, I mean, I've been there. I just didn't have nobody. You know, the couple people I went with the track back then, they were hit and miss on going, and then they kind of just wanted to stay in the stands and spectate. They weren't really trying to do anything. And I actually built what I called a street car back in the day, and it just wasn't nothing. Yeah, I know John knows how to build motors, but what a lot of y'all don't forget, a lot of y'all people in general forget, is John's really busy. Nitrous has no friends, exactly. John's really busy. So not only does John do his, but if y'all have not realized on the channel, if you are around him personally, power pack for the Godzilla. Yeah, but you'd want to go Holly, not a Ford power pack. So, I mean, you just want to go Holly or Fuel Tech. I'd probably go Fuel Tech next, honestly. But John does his whole car, and he does Randy's whole car. So, I mean, he has a lot on his plate. I mean, John's literally doing 2 cars. He's maintaining 2 cars, tuning 2 cars, building 2 cars, and repairing 2 cars. So, Randy does a couple things by himself. But if you notice that John and Randy do pretty much everything. So John, if Randy's working on his car, John's there. So I mean, and that's amazing. You know, I hope that one day I can, you know, be a part of a team like that. Yeah, no, Jason, if you don't learn how to turn wrenches, you better get rich. Because if you're going to be paying somebody all the time, it's going to get really expensive. So I'm absolutely okay with learning. Yeah, John has a full-time job also. He's looking to retire, I think, in 2 to 3 years. But John has a full-time job. He's a food and health safety inspector. So it's just hard when. So I don't know if y'all know. I've known John for like a year and a half, a year and a couple months. That's it. John and Randy, that's it. I'm really new. So it's hard to just say, hey, I built this whole car, babysit me. I built this whole car, you know, or do my motor. So I've kind of carry my own weight. You know, whereas if I can't do it, I'll pay somebody to do it. And I was going to take a lot of cheap ways out. No, I agree. I'm going to try to stay around John and Randy as much as I can. So Randy knows a lot and John knows a lot. And I have learned a lot from them. But there's a lot of stuff that when I'm around them, they're talking Chinese. You know, where I don't even understand what the words mean to some of the stuff. You know, I'm picking it up. I'm way more ahead this year than I was last year. But it's still... it's going to take time. Now, once you start racing and it's your problem, and you're having to mess with the laptop a little. I'm a hands-on learner. I'm a high school dropout because I just don't do school. But I'm a hands-on learner. So once I get my hands in it and start doing it myself, I'll pick up stuff really fast because I'm far from an idiot. I'm far from stupid. I'm actually sometimes blown away at how many people are successful in doing this kind of stuff that actually don't have common sense. Yeah, Don. I mean, I was at Piedmont with them the other week, and it looks like we're gonna be at Piedmont a lot more from what they're saying and what I'm hearing because of the falling out with Stunnerville. So 28's Gone Wild is not running at Stunnerville no more, and Randy's car is to a level that it is so fast that when you get to that level, you can't no longer pick what track you go to. The track picks where you go. Yeah, Jason, I mean, and I will learn. I mean, absolutely. And I'm not scared to blow something up and have to pay for my mistakes. So it's not like I'm scared of anything. It's just, you know, I'm going to try not to act stupid. But yeah, it looks like we're going to be at Piedmont a whole lot more. That was the first time I've been to Piedmont. That is 3 freaking hours from me. I'm not a big fan on the driving stuff. I'm not a big fan on the traveling 6-hour round trip. But with the falling out with Fayetteville, it looks like we'll be at Piedmont. Yeah, Dawn, and half of the time I have to text or call. Yeah, no, I know, Andrew. I know. We're trying. I'm not, like I said. No, Keith, the way to become a millionaire at racing is starting out a billionaire. That's how you make money, is you lose it. But I don't know. I want to help others. And I was doing this before YouTube. I was sitting here right in this garage by my freaking self, figuring it out as I go, changing, evolving. And then that's when I decided to shoot. I'd always wanted to do YouTube, but was afraid of, I'm not a people person, like I'm talking in front of people. Yeah, I know. Yeah, self-taught's the best way. Don, I don't know when they're gonna be at Piedmont again. So this weekend is supposed to be Myrtle Beach. John's car, he's already locked in that race. It's supposed to be Myrtle Beach, but he don't know if he's gonna have his car together. If he doesn't make Myrtle Beach, I'm not sure if they're gonna take Randy's car somewhere or not. I have not spoke to them. I know John, a lot depends on this motor right now, so I have no earthly idea. A lot of times I'll try to jump on the live chat on Wednesday night to figure out what they're doing for the weekend. I mean, I got both of their cells. I can call or text, but I try to just pick it up as, they say it. Got plenty of bars, no time. Yeah, Jason, I try to make time though, Jason. That is one thing I do. That's the reason why we only are open until 11 on Fridays, is because I refuse to give my life away to work. I actually only work 35 hours a week. A lot of people don't know that. I'm at my shop 40 hours a week, but me and Eddie only work 35 hours a week. We take an hour lunch every single day and we leave at 11 on Fridays because financially we're blessed enough where we make decent, where we don't struggle. We're not rich, but we're trying to be rich in the fact of enjoying life and not working your life away. So thankfully, my employee is like one of my best friends. Well, I'd say Mike is my best friend, but he's a good friend of mine, and yeah. So we quit at 11 for that reason. So I basically have 3-day weekends every single weekend because 11 o'clock. Be real. I mean, what's everybody doing by 11 o'clock on Friday? Nothing. So if you, like Eddie goes out in the boat and goes fishing and stuff, I mean, he don't really go out at 11, but he likes to be in the water by lunch, and then all that, traveling, see new things, meet new people. Yeah, Dwayne, that's all good, but I got 3 daughters. I got 3 little girls. So everybody knows Harper on the channel. I have a daughter with my ex, and then, of course, my stepdaughter here, Alex's daughter. So I actually have 3 little girls, and it's not like I'm some, father of the year, I guess you can say, but I try to be around the house and, try not to be 3-4 hours up the road sleeping in my truck just to race. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I try to be a decent husband and a decent guy, and I always drive home. The wife actually, it irritates her that I won't get a hotel room. And I got some friends that like to go to the track with me, and they're like, are we getting a room? And I'm like, no, it's only a 3-hour drive or 2-hour drive. If we leave at 3 o'clock, we'll be home at 6 a.m. That sun comes up, I'll be in my house. Yeah, Jason, for sure. Andrew, the motor oil is in the freaking trailer. Schaefer's. I went and got Schaefer's racing oil, so I got some high-end stuff. I don't think I even have a bottle here. I don't remember the weight. I talked to Skinny up at TKM and discussed the weight with TKM before I purchased it. But I picked up the Schaefer stuff off of the John Doc YouTube channel, how much he swore by it and how good he talked about it. And so I started looking into it. And the Schaefer's, TKM was actually surprised by this. The Schaefer's oil was a little bit, we're talking dollars, cheaper than the Motorcraft. So TKM wanted me to put Motorcraft in it because they said, honestly, that's really good for the Ford motors. And I said, well, how about Schaefer's? I said, I'm on eBay and I can pick up a whole box of Schaefer's for, a couple bucks left. Yeah, Don, I mean, everything I'm hearing from the John Doc channel and the stories that he has told, and, when you Google it, and as soon as I mentioned it, with the TKM guys, they were like, yeah, Schaefer's is good. I screenshot it and sent it to Skinny. A lot of people don't use eBay, and I don't know why. It's like everybody thinks that eBay is a dollar store, and they don't understand that eBay is a mall, and inside the mall, you have Nike and you have Payless Shoe Stores. It depends on where you go inside the mall. Just go into eBay and find what you want. But I screenshotted it, and I was like, dude, what I can get Motorcraft sent to my door, it's cheaper to get Schaefer's by a couple bucks. And he was like, wow. He was like, dude, I can't believe that. And I was like, yeah. He was like, definitely go with the Schaefer's. He was like, you know, that's a no-brainer. So a lot of people just, they're too quick to run to the local parts store or whatever instead of pricing around. But I do need to order another batch of Schaefer's just to have it, because I only have a couple quarts in the trailer. I don't have enough to do a whole full oil change. And I need to probably have enough to do a full oil change in case something happens. Okay, Don, I got you. Yeah, the plan is just to keep the trailer stocked. So I'm actually, as I think of stuff, 10% battery life left. As I think of stuff, I actually write it in my phone for notes of things that need to go in the trailer so that hopefully we won't not have stuff. Ray Shot was telling me about a case. Yeah, Jason, so a case of Schaefer's I think cost me right around 100, 120 off eBay to my door, I think. I felt like I put that on the channel when I paid for it, but I'd have to go over there and pull it up. But the goal is to keep the trailer stocked. Now, the cool thing about running the Coyote radiator and all that and mod motor is that it's not a race motor. Okay, but it's not like a race motor where you have to do so much to it. So if everything's right, technically you should make a pass with the Coyote, no push car, drive it back to the pit because it's got a radiator, cool it down. I mean, we want to cool it down. We don't want to just continuously bake heat in it, you know, but cool it down and then drive it back up there, pull it up there, whatever you want to do, make another pass and then back to the trailer to hang out. I mean, with the mod motors, you can check your spark plugs for safety, but you don't have to. Yeah, Philip, exactly. But it's not like I got to sit there and run valves between rounds, or it's not like I got to drain, you know, the oil before the race because to get methanol out of it. Okay, yeah, exactly. I mean, everything I hear about the Schaefer's is amazing. So, but yeah, I mean, it's, you know, hoping that I won't have to stock this trailer like some huge big race operation where you have to continuously working on it during rounds. I'm hoping that I can kind of hang out with people off YouTube and hang out with different, you know, people at the track between rounds, because hopefully we're not really going to have to do nothing. So with it being a street car, I hope that there's like, and being a mod motor, that hopefully there's just not too much to do. I mean, I don't know, maybe y'all tell me if I'm missing something. Like, what am I going to have to do between rounds if there's no failure besides cool it down? I mean, John Dock admitted the other day that they don't even check plugs and God knows how long because their stuff's running right. Yeah, see, exactly. A lot of people is running that Schaefer's. Yeah, dude, the plugs are right there on the top of the Coyote. Yeah. So, I mean, there's just, what are we going to do between rounds? Cook cheeseburgers, hang out? Because hopefully we're setting ourselves up to win right here in the garage. So I'm not trying to be working on this thing at the track. I do not like the heat. I don't like the sweat. I work in that crap all week. I do not have AC at our shop. Well, we have AC in the shop, but we can't use it. Like there's units there, but we can't use it because when you're painting, as soon as you turn on the paint booth, it's just gonna suck all your AC right out. And when we had the AC running years ago, it was $500-600 power bills every single month. So I'm in the heat all week. I have no interest in being at the track working, sweating, because that's how I'm going to get pissed off fast. And I'm the type where I'll load it up. I can go ahead and tell you, if I have too big of an issue at the track, I'm going to load it up and take it home, because I got AC right here in the garage where I can work on it barefooted and not get pissed off. Because I have a little bit of an anger issue when it comes to tight spaces and like mechanics. Mike will tell you, y'all even have seen in the video a couple times where we've kind of left stuff in there. I have no interest for being pissed off, bloody, and sweating at the racetrack. I'd rather just hang out with people, cook some burgers, hot dogs, and just enjoy being at the track and not make it stressful. You know, I've watched people bust their tail, stress like crazy, and then get knocked out, you know, that round. And I've watched people rig stuff. So they tear stuff up, rig it, and then get knocked out that round, and then they got to go home and fix their rigging, if they even fix their rigging. So, you know, like John has the perfect setup. So John's smart. You know, he just races. So everything with his car is about function. So he don't have to worry about scratching stuff, you know. Yeah. But he don't have to worry about scratching stuff or messing anything up. You know, he's able to get out there and just get the job done and race, you know, and if he needs to work on something between rounds, he's set up where you can just kind of tear stuff apart. You know, he's got everything where it's really easy to get to, you know, and that's amazing. But like, I mean, even Randy's car is kind of to a different level where you kind of want to be a little bit more careful. I mean, you still want to get the win. Randy is competitive. They're competitive, but at the same time, I mean, with Randy's, it's like you might get to a position where you're like, okay, we too much money, too much time into this thing. We're just gonna call it a day, you know. And Randy, I've heard Randy say that before. Is, you know, we'll just get it right and come back and fight another day, you know, versus thrashing it out. But yeah, the goal is to have all your maintenance done before you get to the track. I don't even want to go to the track if I have to work on it at the racetrack. Yeah, I'd rather leave it at home and just go to racetrack and hang out with all y'all and hang out with friends. Randy's car is very badass. Y'all know Randy's clear coat? I'll tell you this since all y'all are in here. Randy's clear coat, I think that junk is like $600 a freaking gallon. So he left a gallon or almost a gallon of clear and a gallon of reducer. That's left over from his car at the shop. I don't use other people's stuff. Randy paid for that stuff. He supplied it. So that stuff will literally rot in storage before I ever put it on anything because it's not my clear and I don't take stuff from other people like that. But I accidentally grabbed it the other day and I needed hardener. And I told the wife, I said, when you're at the paint store, grab me hardener for the number. And she called me on speakerphone because the people at the paint store were getting a kick out of it. And she was like, do you know this hardener is $300 a quart, or $300 for a quart, half gallon, whatever it is? And I'm like, no. I was like, there's no way I would have bought any clear coat. I'm too cheap. There ain't no way I would have bought clear coat that would have took that. I was like, what is going on? We couldn't figure it out anyway. Long story short, it ended up being Randy's clear that I almost bought hardener for. So I put it back in storage. But yeah, that stuff's like freaking, I think it's like if you walk in between hardener, reducer, and a gallon, just 1 gallon, we went through, I think, 2 gallons, 2 to 2.5 gallons on Randy's car. And I think it's about $600 for the material for just the clear coat. So the stuff I shoot is like $180 a gallon with hardener, reducer, everything. You're gonna pay about $180. Randy's clear is some glamour clear. I cannot remember the name of it. So at all, I cannot remember. When we shot it, if you go back to, I have my playlist organized on here. You can pull up the Turbo John Racing Crew or the Turbo John Crew playlist. Then you can scroll down that playlist and find all of videos that's related to Randy or John that I have done with them. And in them videos, when we painted his car, I showed the exact product that we shot it with. And if I knew it, I would tell it to you, but I don't even remember the brand. All I know is it's a high solids glamour clear, and I hate it. I hate it. And I made it perfectly clear in the videos, if y'all recall, that I hate freaking high solids and I hate glamour clear because it's so thick it's hard to spray. But if you're interested in it, just go look at the video where we painted it, and I'm pretty sure I showed it. I know I showed it in 1 or 2. Yeah, the red pops and it's definitely bright. All right, well, I think we're gonna wrap that up because the video is, I think the phone's about to die. So y'all will see everything that comes out. I'll make sure that I film the first startup, and I'm gonna keep y'all updated throughout the week because hopefully stuff will rock and roll. So I'll dump all the content as fast as I can on where we're at with everything. It's looking like Mike said earlier in the chat, if you were watching, that it might be Tuesday night. It's looking like we might start on this thing at the shop, going through the final stuff. I'm hoping by Saturday morning, I'm hoping we have almost a pass ready car. So I'm hoping by Saturday morning we have a 95% race ready car besides tune and a couple of other little things. But I'm hoping that we can drive it on the road by this weekend. But that all depends on other people, not necessarily me, Chris's time and all that, and a couple other things that I'll go over this week on the channel. So we got to fix, Jason pointed out something else I got to fix up front that might cause overheating issues if we don't take care of it. So, but I appreciate it, y'all. I'll catch y'all in the next video, and thanks, y'all. Talk to y'all later.